There are consequences to toxic behavior. Like it or not, you're going to pay for ish that you put out in the world. So it's a cautionary tale for all of us who watch this, that we got to be mindful about the consequences of our actions and whether we can survive how it plays itself out. Welcome to Cliff Alerts. Today I will be reviewing The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills Reunion Part 3. But before I get into that, please like, share, and subscribe. Please click that notification button so you know when I upload new content. And I appreciate and thank you for your support. So, Andy got into it with Erica. He asked her what her behavior was all about because it was foul, it was bad. We saw her drinking while she's on medication and just acting altogether in a horrible way. Erica claimed that she was numbing herself because she has been in pain for 2 years. The legal consequences again of everything regarding her former husband was playing itself out, and she was sued multiple times, so she said she was numbing herself. Garcelle spoke up and she said, well, I didn't understand the full extent of the vile attack her son received at the hands of Erica until she watched the episode. And she asked Erica, why did she single out her son? What was she thinking? What was it about him that she thought that she could speak to him in that kind of way? And she didn't direct that venom towards a grown person. Erica responded that she was being stupid. She didn't single Garcelle's son out. And what she said didn't come from a bad place. It came from an irresponsible place. That sounds like counseling speak. Based on what Garcelle's son went through online, the attacks from racists and bots, Erica should have had a little bit more than what she provided to Garcelle in that moment. But I personally don't expect a whole lot from her. Garcelle then asked Dorit why she didn't say anything to Erica in that moment, because any decent human being, regardless if it's your friend or not, will check your friend to say something because the attack was so violent. And let's not forget, Garcelle's son is 14 years old. Dorit claimed that she did talk to Erica, but clearly either that was edited out or that was off camera. But she did not do it in the real time. Andy said that the whole thing was unsettling to watch. This is when Carl said that when she saw it, she was mortified, and that anyone who knows her, and Garcelle had to shut her down. She said, well, it's not your child we're talking about. You're talking about my child. And it was not good to watch Carl, Mauricio, PK, and Dorit laugh about the attack Erica made on Garcelle's son. In fact, Mauricio said that I was glad that she attacked Garcelle's son. And they all had a good joke about it. So that's why Andy said it was unsettling to watch how these grown people behaved. Garcelle told her that if she had done that to, let's say, Carl's daughter, it would not have rolled down the way it did. And everybody knows that to be true. It's a case of believe what I tell you and ignore what you see. That's how this is playing out. Everyone is mortified after the fact, but in real time, Had it been their kids, something else would be going on entirely. Andy asked Erica why she believed there was no victims for the Lion Air crash that her former husband's law firm handled, and why it seems like she doesn't have any empathy. Erica claimed that she was disappointed at her behavior. However, she claimed that Carl should have stayed neutral while she was arguing with Garcelle and Crystal when she said she did not believe that there were any victims and the only people she cared about was herself. Carl believed that she had to say something to her because it did not look good. Andy asked whether Erica saw Carl defending her in that moment, and Erica, of course, said no. She wants everyone to be her road dog, to go off that cliff like Thelma and Louise, and not say anything, not tell her, not check her, not tell her to turn around. If that's the level of friendship they have, they don't have any friendships at all. When Carl said that Erica was out of control in that moment, Erica said no, she was not. She was angry. Carl then asked her if she knew the amount of heat her friends were taking, defending her during this whole episode of this lawsuits, the victims and the missing funds, which was their settlement money that went missing, and who's responsible for that. And the other clients who Erica's husband managed, who he had also received settlements from, but their monies too went missing. And if she felt anything regarding that, and she said no. The fruit of her husband's alleged behavior allowed them to live high on the hog, hence the mansion in Pasadena, the planes, the jewelry, the clothing. All that was done because of the alleged money that he took from clients. Let's just say she did not know. Now she does. That doesn't do something to her. That tells you where she is. Dorit asked why is she so afraid of showing empathy, and she said she is. And then Andy said, well, it's not landing. This is the first time I heard empathy come out of that woman's mouth. And even then it was as cold as ice. And Andy said, hey, you need to switch it up. Nobody knows. That's your secret. It's not landing. We have no idea that you feel empathy for anyone but yourself. In fact, he brought up the issue that the bankruptcy court took the $1.2 million earrings, and she was in court now trying to get them back. Andy asked the ladies who would keep the earrings, and Dorit raised their hand. But again, Dorit's actions on this reunion for me is suspect, because she's right in the middle of the issue with Erica, with Renner, and with Carl. Kathy shows up on set. Erica and Renner tried to ignore her, but she came through and said, hi girls. And we knew it would be on and popping. It's good to say hi to your enemies. You don't come to a war and start off in a weak position. Andy asked Kathy if now she knows how to DM her husband Rick. Kathy said that, yeah, I do. I do the same thing like Renner does. I post something up and then take it down 20 minutes later. So the games have begun. Renner, not expecting that, looked surprised. I don't know why. You poked the bear and here it is. Here's the real bear for your ass. It come at you straight. No fooling around. I want to eat and you be my food, so here we go. Kathy starts out by talking about the misunderstanding between she and Carl at the Kimosabe, or whatever that place was named in Colorado. Kathy and Carl clearly have a dynamic between them that's odd. I think Kathy acts more as a mother figure to Carl, so therefore it seems like Carl feels that she doesn't get the level of respect that she needs as a sister, and she does not like how Kathy treats her nor how she speaks to her. So Kathy had an expectation, because Carl planned this party, she would promote her tequila. So when Kathy came through and saw that wasn't the case, that Rena was ordering somebody else's tequila, she got upset, but that's not how Kathy framed it. Rena spoke up and said she had had Kathy's tequila several times. Carl starts crying like a 5-year-old and said, everything is my fault now. Based on my life experience, if anybody says everything is their fault, they are being manipulative, because everything can't be one person's fault. And she's crying like someone did something to her. Based on how Carl was looking at Kathy, it looked like she hated her. I think the reverse is true. I think Carl is threatened by Kathy. She may be jealous and envious of her. At BravoCon, the fans were going nuts over her. So there must be a level of jealousy and animosity towards Kathy, coupled with Carl thinking that she disrespects her in the way she speaks to her, and that with the family dynamic, if something happens between her and Kathy, that she basically is going to be on the outs with the entire family. I get that. That happens. Sometimes you have upsets with your family that, you step away from them, and it's for your mental health. But for some reason, Carl seems to be more concerned that Kathy attends her daughter's wedding than actually protecting Kathy. She may want some level of validation that she doesn't get from Kathy, because the sisters got some issues, and Carl seems like she does not defend her sisters in a sincere and authentic way. Kathy looked at Carl. She's still crying, and asked her, "What is she crying about?" She said, "Oh, I'm crying because of how you treat me." What? I think Carl recognized that this whole season, this whole bit, she participated in Rena and Erica's toxic plan to attack Kathy. She co-signed and she participated in it. So now that it's full blown, now that everything is coming into view, she is scared witless, and that's what brings on the waterworks. It's her guilt. It's the guilt she feels by participating in a plot to bring down her sister. Annie asked what happened in Aspen. Kathy said that they went to the club. She went up to the DJ and asked him if he could play a couple of songs because they were partying and drinking. The DJ insulted her. She got angry and she walked back to Carl and told her they gotta leave right now. Now, Carl probably didn't like how she spoke to her, so probably ignored her, and they got into it. Kathy said that because she knew Rena for a couple of years, Rena volunteered to leave with her. So while they got in the car, she was upset. She probably said a few things, but that's the extent of it. Now, Renner claims that when they got into the car, Kathy was having a meltdown, and when they got to the house, she was enraged. She talked ish about some of the cast members, that she said that she was going to take down NBC Universal and Bravo. She said that she was going to destroy Carl and her family, and something sounds off. NBC Universal is a conglomerate. How is Kathy Hilton, as big as she is and as wealthy as she is, going to take down NBC Universal? Come on. Please. Please. That doesn't sound right. Additionally, she said Kathy was hitting the wall and stomping on her glasses. Kathy said, well, hey, I got the glasses. They're in the dressing room. I can go get them. Since you're implying that I stomped them, there must be some sort of damage on them. Additionally, she said Kathy was hitting the walls. Kathy don't look like the kind of woman who would hit a wall. Come on. Come on. Come on, man. Come on, maybe throw a plate. Who knows? But not hit a wall. It's like the dude who said not the bleach. Come on, Renner. But there's more. Erica claimed, because Erica gotta always have her girl back, Erica claimed that while they were in the club, Kathy walked over to her after her interaction with the DJ and told her that, the FHG did not want to play her tunes. Kathy said she did not say that. She's not the kind of person who would say that, and that she has more credibility than Erica. Erica said, yeah, you don't have any credibility now. Kathy said, well, look at you. You who wearing furs that don't belong to you, who rocking jewelry that don't belong to you. And I'm saying, damn, Kathy. She said, everybody know the stuff on your back don't belong to you. The furs, the jewelry, that's something of value, ain't it? Why wasn't that turned over to the bankruptcy trustee? A Cartier ring is a lot of money. I'm just curious. Because every word that came out of Kathy's mouth had an intention behind it. Everything. So when she told Erica that, Erica backed up, because clearly there's something there that could potentially cause another issue. The reunion suddenly changed into a history lesson of how and where Erica got the furs and the jewelry from. I don't know if you noticed that, and she broke it down. And Kathy said that is for a reason. Because if there's a bankruptcy situation going on, you best believe that a fur coat costs some money, that a Cartier ring costs some money. So why does Erica still have those things in her possession? I'm just curious. I'm trying to follow Kathy's lead. It's just a question. Then Andy said that there was an investigation. Garcelle asked, who did the investigation? She said HR. HR investigated Renner and Erica's claims, and the investigation came back as inconclusive. So that means they really didn't find a whole lot. It was a he said, she said situation. But I'm curious about one thing. Renner said that Kathy had a meltdown in the van. The van more than likely had a driver. he must have witnessed what was happening. So, did anyone talk to him? I'm just curious. These are just questions I ask myself. Renner claims that while they were in the van, Kathy was shouting, screaming, and venting. And Kathy asked her, well, if I was venting, do you remember your words that you said that I was preaching to the choir? Did you remember that? Huh? Renner again looked like she wasn't prepared. She said, well, not exactly. That is exactly or not really. And if not really, are you sure? Are you sure? Maybe, that might be. And eventually it's going to turn out to be a yes. Then Renner repeated that Kathy said she's going to destroy NBC Universal and Bravo. And Kathy said, I'm going to have to get you to take a lie detector test. Renner said that Kathy had a psychotic break. This is when Carl speaks up and said, there seemed to, she wonders how the story got out, that there is a leak. Garcelle said, well, everything is on social media these days. Renner said, yeah, and then Garcelle pointed her nose and it said, well, you're responsible for most of the leaks. And then Renner gave some story about TMZ contacted her and asked her questions about what occurred at the club in Aspen because someone may have witnessed it and called TMZ. Okay. Now this is where I believe Carl set Kathy up and did not protect her. Kathy came to Carl's house to apologize because, trust and believe, she said something about Carl in that moment that wasn't good. So she agreed to apologize to her on camera. After she apologized, Carl tells Kathy that Renner is going to also be filmed because she wants her apology on camera as well. That sounds fishy. That sounds bogus. Kathy even said, I could have called you on the phone, but no, you wanted this on camera. And Kathy goes on to say she believes that Renner wanted it on camera because her contract was up. She had to stir up some drama. She has a problem with a lot of people. She got rid of Lisa Vanderpump and Camille Grammer. She said that a lot of people, she did some foul things too, including Kathy's sister, Kim. And Kathy said that you are the biggest bully in Hollywood, and everybody knows it. Now Renner looks really surprised. And Kathy goes on to say that she is a mean woman. And when Renner said, oh, that's sad, and Kathy said, no, it's not sad. It's sad that you brought this on yourself. Then Renner started reaching for straws. She said Kathy attacked her. Then when people said, what? Attacked you? She said, Kathy abused me. Then she said, I was in the dark. Kathy said, well, the lights were on. Carl does pay her utility bills. So you weren't in the dark. The lights were on. That was funny. That was the funniest part for me. It was like Lisa Renner on a soap opera. And then she says, oh, I was traumatized by what happened in that room. And Andy looked at her and said, after you've seen all this season, you think that that's the thing that traumatized you? Have you ever screamed at anyone in this cast, and she said so to justify her point of view. She traumatized, and all season she's screaming at Sutton. Carl, smelling the pungent smell of defeat, started crying again, and it was a woe is me. I'm the one who's gonna get the heat from Kathy and the family. Garcelle asks Carl why is she mad with Kathy and not Renner. Carl continues to cry and complain about Kathy and what may or may not happen going forward. And I'm sure she's thinking of that wedding that's coming up. Doree tried to interject in their conversation, and Carl almost ripped her head off and told her that, you need to stop. You don't need to be involved in this. Perhaps if she had defended Kathy in that way, maybe this whole season would have gone differently. That basically was the end. Andy went around asking the ladies her final words. Kathy looks like she was upset. She got up and left. And we see Carl going to a dressing room and Doree coming in, Carl weeping uncontrollably. It's sad because you brought it on yourself. And with that, I'm out.